What up? What up, G's? It's your boy, Prophet74. Today, we're gonna bring in AMD motherboard. It's a Gigabyte motherboard. We're gonna talk about it. It's a AB350N gaming Wi-Fi motherboard, and we're gonna unbox it here and we're gonna talk about it. Why I got this, because people are like asking me, why are you getting something so old? Why do you need something like that? So the only reason I got it was because like I said, I want to do a retro gaming game system, and this is probably the only way I'm gonna do an inexpensive, cheaply done gaming system, gaming rig. And this is because I have a big Thunderbolt, one of those thunder sticks, remote control, wireless button pushing device, and this is the one thing that I wanted to do. I have this it's called from X Arcade. It's called a Thunder Tank stick, I think it is, and it's basically a two-man base system that you get to well, all 6 buttons, of course. You can play Street Fighter, you can play all that. So I say, hey, you know what, I want to build something, a retro system, and I want to end up doing it something good. And I want to make sure that it could play PlayStation games too, also PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, the Nintendo Wii. I want to make sure it plays all the Nintendo 64 really well, and Dreamcast, of course. So I ended up getting this motherboard to build a little tiny system that I'm going to put right behind a display system. I'm going to actually build this retro arcade, and this is something I want to do, and I want to open it up and I want to talk about a little. But before I let you guys know, I bought this through Fry's. It was a little expensive. It was 120 bucks. It costs more online, but you get a discount of $20, a mail-in rebate. And what it is like, once you turn in the receipt, they give you a gift card, a Visa $20 gift card or something like that. Very simple to use all the time. You know, you could get the card and reuse it or something. But it's not the point I got it for. I got it because I wanted to build something small that doesn't take too much heat, and it doesn't take too much power, and it does the basics. That's pretty much I want to do. So I do have this hard drive here that I want to install, and this is a 2 terabyte hard drive. It's real tiny hard drive, you know, real simple tiny hard drive that I want to set up. But I just want to make it simple, basic, run it down so it could run all these games, put all the games in here, all the freaking games in here. I mean, I'm gonna make it as compact as possible. I got a little box I'm building myself the box. I'm not even purchasing the box. I'm building it from scratch. It's going to be a simple box that it's going to be housed in the arcade system, and make sure that air circulating through the whole system. So I want to make it entertaining. So when people come in here, they're going to see an arcade, and the arcade is going to be completely filled with badass games, like I said, you know. So I want to make the retro gaming system with this hard drive. It's a Seagate hard drive. It's 2 terabyte hard drive. I'm gonna put in here to build in this the hard drive, the OS hard drive. I'm gonna do an M.2 on this motherboard to boot up, because I don't want the games to be running from the system. I want it to be running from the secondary hard drive, but I do want the OS to be running and capable of handling transitions between starting the games and the software. So I want to make sure that it's stable enough. I was even thinking about just skipping the M.2 and just putting this in here, and maybe putting another secondary hard drive on the bottom. But I thought about it, and I don't think the power I bought is capable of handling all this stuff. So that's why I was a little I was debating about what to get, you know, making simple, making something to run. And of course, you know, I wanted to let you guys know, this is my first hat I made, homemade, late to the show. It's 3D printed. It doesn't look good, but it's my first one. I just messing around with the 3D printer. I figured something out. I melted some of the stuff up. Look at that. Look at that. It's a little melted in the bottom, which I messed up a little bit, but it was my first one. It's still drying up. I just finished it today. I'm gonna be videotaping here like this if you guys want me to, and show off my little hat here. Homemade 3D printing, but this is not what I'm gonna be doing. I'm actually just experimenting. I'm doing something that's way better. This is just the first demo I did, and I got it down to the science now where I'm gonna 3D print the stuff and set it up. But it's one of those things I just like to mess around with it, and I think I figure something that you guys are gonna like. And maybe in the future I could start selling these stuff, you know. And it's one of those things that it's gonna be available for every game that's out there, pretty much, you know. The concept, I like the PUBG stuff. I'm gonna be putting 3D PUBG stuff, you know, popping out on the hat itself. So I just want to make sure it was capable of handling some of the glue. And I overdid it with the glue. If you guys notice, you can see the shininess of it, but it's just the first experiment, and I know that it works. The hat itself looks a little crummy. It looks a little, I love the hat. This is one of my favorite hats. I kind of ruined the hat, but it does the job. From far away it looks really good, but when you see a close-up of it, it doesn't look very good, of course, you know. And I like the hat itself. I'm gonna be not wearing it too much because I kind of messed up. Like I said, I melted too much of it. You can see the little imperfections, and I like perfection on the stuff, but it's a little messed up right here. The lettering's a little bit off. I think I'm gonna 3D print again and take the whole thing off and start from scratch again. But right now, so far, I'm very impressed with the 3D print that I did, and you know, just messing around with it and doing some stuff. So let's get down to the business. What do you guys say, man? Who's on? If you guys are on, man, give that loving, give the like and subscribe, man. We need the loving, man, on here. This shows, you know. I'm streaming through Twitch, Mixer, and YouTube. I've been gaming a lot. You know, I want to start doing more hardware review and more of the retro stuff. So I know there's a lot of people out there that love the old school stuff, you know. So right now, we're going to unbox some of the stuff and take you on to the information. So first of all, this motherboard, when you purchase it, it's a small little box compared to a large Gigabyte. Let's bring another large Gigabyte. Look at the size of it, right? I'm going to compare it to how big it is, you know. It's just, let me zoom out so you guys can see a little bit. Oh, yeah, there you go. So you guys can see a little bit. Look at the comparison compared to a regular size Gigabyte drive. That is crazy. The size of it is just, it's just, you know, there's like maybe 3.5 inches left on one side. And it's a lot to go with. I mean, when I saw it, I was like, okay, they remind me of the old school hard motherboards. So let me move that aside. We're gonna mess around with this and have some more connections to it. Of course, we're not gonna turn it on. We're gonna do parts of it. We're gonna build it from scratch, like I said. But today we're gonna unbox it. We're gonna talk about the hardware. We're gonna talk about what's going in here, what I'm gonna do in here, and what's it base for. So pretty much it's a Ryzen AMD desktop. It says 2000 ready. I don't know what that means, but it seems like it could run anything other than Windows 2000. Probably that's what it's saying, you know. Like I said, there is a couple of things you could purchase with it, but today I'm not gonna install anything. We're gonna do in items. I'm probably just gonna start the build over the week, and you guys could see it. I'll do live streaming so we could do it from the scratch, from the ground up. Of course, minus the OS, because the OS takes a long time, and you guys don't want to see me install the OS and do all that crap. It just takes quite a bit. So we're gonna open it up and see what you guys get. What do you guys think so far? Anybody likes any of this stuff? If you guys don't like the stuff, you want me to see gaming stuff, I'll go back into the gaming. I just want to make sure that people that are watching out there are maybe some sort of education too, on top of just gaming, you know. But in a way, I like to talk about the hardware I purchased, because when I purchase the hardware, I just don't purchase it because it doesn't make sense. You got to make sure that you're going to use it for something, you know. And most of the stuff that I have, I use it for a lot of like gaming. You know, it's all based for gaming, you know, all the stuff from the chair to the freaking motherboards to the CPUs to the water cooling system. Now, I am promising a video for the cards, for the mouse, and I'm working on that one right now. It just takes me quite a while because I'm waiting for one more mouse. And this one mouse is something I saw and I want. So that's why I'm like, oh shoot, I gotta wait for this mouse, you know. So we're gonna do that. And right now, like I said, if you guys have any questions, please, you know, as we're live streaming right now, we're looking at all the viewers that are coming in. Right now I have 2. So those 2 viewers have any questions or any pop out, you know, say something. I'm here. We're gonna be good. We're gonna run. We're gonna open it up now. So I'm gonna open it, take our time, open the whole thing, and see what you guys get when you guys purchase something like this. First of all, like I said, it's a tiny little puny little device. Let me take it out with the whole box so you guys can see what's in the box too. You guys see what's in there. So we're gonna start with this first. I'm gonna move this to the side, and we're gonna talk about this. Let me flip it over so you guys can see it. I just don't want to get any static on it, so I'm keeping it off the ground with the box itself, you know. The system itself, there's only 2 slots for memory, and it's DDR4 memory, of course. Like I said, this is for the 7th generation AMD video card. It's not for the 8th one. It's not for the 8th. It's just for 7th. It goes through AM4 chip. That's pretty much what it does. I bought a 2600 chip, AMD chip, that's gonna be installed in here. The slots are a little different from an actual Intel. If you guys notice it, it's the mounting of a actual fan. It's a little different from the actual Intel chips, because the Intel is a lot larger than the AMD. You know, and this one, let me tell you how many ports it has or how many cores it has, because I don't know it by memory, all this stuff. You know, I just purchase it most of the time, and I like to run it, but then it's just like, you know, it's just sometimes that I don't pay attention to the stuff that people are asking most of the times, because I like to run them. And this is what it comes with, all right? Like I said, it has a socket for AMD 4, which I already repeat that again. AMD B350 chip, all right? So it's a certain set of chips that you have to buy. You can't buy an additional one because it's not compatible one either. The size is different, and it has one PCL 3.0 X16, all right, which is this slot right here we're talking about. And this is for the larger video card. This is like for the NVIDIAs or anything new right now in the market. It's the slot right now. Of course, there's a 3.1 that's a higher version of it, but it's not made for that kind of, it's not compatible with it. This is a 3.0 slot. Now on top of it, it has a display port, HDMI, dual channels DDR4, and 2 DIMMs for the two memory. Of course, like I was saying, the 2 memory chips. It has 4 SATA, and then it has a 1 M.2. And it also has a M.2 to Wi-Fi, which is one that's right here, built in right here, which is another thing, another slot you could use instead of the Wi-Fi too. You can always reuse that one. Now, on top of that, you could do a RAID 0, 1 through 10. It comes with 2 USBs, 3.1, 2 Type A USBs, 6 USBs 3 generation 1, and actually not 6. It has how many it says? 6? Damn, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it does have 6. And on top of that, it has a 4 USB 2.0. Now, on top of that, it says the AC 1220 Realtek, the audio. That's the audio. And then it comes with the form factor, which is the Mini ITX. All right. Now, just to let you guys know, these might not be compatible with every motherboard. And one thing I purchased it for that it doesn't say in the box, but I know it does have it because I already reviewed it. I went to the online and I purchased it. It has a 2 gig built-in video card in here. Pretty much, you don't need a video card. And that's what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to install a video card on this one. I'm just going to plug it and play. And HDMI ready. You know, so you can plug it in directly to your HDMI or your display port. And you're all set for just reviewing stuff now. On the pins itself, like I said, it might not be compatible, but if I turn it to the back, if you guys notice something, you're going to be missing something. I'm going to show you something here. This is where the actual M.2 fits in here. It goes in here in this slot. It's in the back. It doesn't go to the front. and it pretty much, that's how it goes on. You guys see it. I have this camera here on this side so you guys can see a little bit better, but I'm gonna twist it. You guys see it. It's all in the back now. You know, it fits in the back of the motherboard. I like this. I like it a lot because it's hidden and less of a heat to attach. You know, this is an M.2 hard drive that I'm not gonna install in here. I'm just testing it out for you guys to see and see what else you get. All right. On top of that, the memory is gonna go here, DDR4 memory. Really simple to use. The Gigabyte chip is already in here. It's a 2 gig chip. It's already built in here in the motherboard itself. Now, the only thing I see that's a problem here, that for me, it's like how close the actual fan's gonna be. Look, let me bring in a fan here. Let me see if I have one here. Yeah, I got a fan here. And for example, this is an Intel fan. This is a huge fan. This is a monster Intel, of course, but it's not AMD. It's not AMD ready because it's a different socket. But I'm just giving you a demo how big and wide a actual fan you're gonna need. Now in this case, I'm not gonna use this fan at all. I'm using a different one, a smaller one that I actually purchased too. I was even thinking about putting a water cooling system, but on these systems it's an overkill. I don't want to do the overkill. So look how much space it will take if you actually put a fan in there. And we're talking about, it takes a lot of space just to see it, if you guys see it. And this is a problem right here. If you're gonna install any kind of fan on it or water cooling system, it's gonna take the majority of the space on the motherboard. Let me bring in something else too. I'm going to compare it to this motherboard itself. So you got to make sure that, see the sockets, the pins, they're going to fit the same motherboard. So you'll fit a corner, but on this one, there's not enough of it. In fact, if I twist it around, let me see if I could twist it around and put it, I don't want to touch them side by side, but it would actually fit a certain corner here. And I don't think the pins even fit. So you might have to buy a different case, or you might have to modify the case, because this case, the cases, the desktop cases you purchase are not made for this stuff. There might be additional ports in there that you actually put your screws in there, but I don't know about setting it. You know, it's something that you gotta, oh man, I just got cement all over my finger. Cement from the actual this shit right here, the fan. I gotta clean that up, but not today, not right now. I got my hands full as it is. So let's go continue with the show, man. Let me just make sure I remove the thermal paste. All right. Now on top of that, like I said, the fan, the video card, I don't know if it's gonna hit here most of the time. If you're gonna install a video card, you might end up hitting this part of it, and it's something that you might have a problem with it, and you might not, because depends on the video card. In fact, I could bring a video card so I could show you guys how big it is. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do that. Let me bring a video card so I could bring it in. You guys want me to do that so you guys could check it out? Let me bring in the video card. Alright, here goes the video card. Bring in the monstrosity video card so you guys can see it. Alright, there we go. Look at this giant video card. And this is a 4 gig video card. It's a Gigabyte 2. It's a AMD video card, but look at the monster of it compared to the, I don't know how you're gonna be housing something. This is too heavy for it, but if you ever want to go cheap and inexpensive, maybe going to this motherboard might not be a good idea, because the heat, you're gonna generate a lot of heat from this sucker, and the power on it, you need to have enough power to generate for this system. And also not only that system, but you either, if you're gonna run a fix, if you're gonna run something like a hard drive in there, you need extra additional power too. And on top of that, if you're gonna add memory, additional memory slots, there's no more additional, just 2. You could either do 16 gigs or 32 gigs, depends on what kind of memory you're gonna buy. A DDR4 in there, it's not cheap right now. Now you're gonna need power for this, power for the video card. And if you're gonna light up your whole system, you're gonna need power. So it's pretty much power for a lot of things, even your Wi-Fi. In fact, let's see how this will mount up in here. So if you pretty much set this up in here, let me put it in here. I don't want to break it, so I'm gonna be careful about it, because that's pretty much how it sits in there. You see that? It's yes, this is larger than the motherboard. Look how large it is. And this is a video card. This is a common size on the video cards. Just to let you guys know, if you guys buy the 1080 or 1080 or 1070, this is what you're getting, something similar to this. Now I got to be careful because there's not enough. It needs to be mounted and it needs to be hanging. So the only thing I'm worried about, if you put it on an actual tower or something, that it might break off if it's holding all the weight over. And I'm a little sensitive on this, so let me just remove it from here. I don't want to make sure that we take it off correctly. There it is. I just don't want to do that no more, because I don't know how fragile this part is, or I might jack it up or mess it up and mess up my retro system and void the warranty. So I got to be careful about that. Now, another thing, this system didn't come on static bag, so it pretty much came on the cardboard and the foam. And this compared to I'm gonna put it side by side so you guys can see the comparison on how big is it compared to a video card. And this is a Gigabyte video card, AMD. It's a really good video card too. I like it a lot. I haven't used it. I'm gonna actually use it for another system, but I'm not gonna put it in this system. I'm just gonna run it with the built-in video card that it has, because it runs really good. Like I said, this is a 2 gig video card. This is a 4 gig, right? 2 gigs video card in here. So let's see what else you get. Let's move this to the side. Let me move this over here so you guys can see. Oh, actually, I'll move it here so you guys can see a little bit better right there. In fact, let me zoom out. Yeah, right there. There you go. So I'm gonna move that there so you guys can see what you get too. Let's open the box. Let's get the rest of the stuff out. And the only reason I'm doing this review is so you guys, if you guys are interested in purchasing like something like that and you want to know what you get. Now this is a must. Comes with all the other motherboards that you purchase it. It's just the cover for the the additional cover for this stuff. And it looks like it's open already. I'm a little concerned about that. So it's something that I'm gonna be worried about it when the first time I set it up. I gotta get this up before 14 days or my warranty is gonna run out. So this is to put the cover on the desktop in here. On top of that, they give you the Wi-Fi antennas, and I like this because it's an extended antenna, but it's not necessary, to be honest with you. If you're sitting next to the Wi-Fi, this is kind of an overkill. They should have just done some little antennas instead of something like this. This is too bulky and ugly. I don't really like it. Now they give you additional SATA connections for your actual hard drives. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 connections for SATA drives in here, which is really good because it's an overkill if you're gonna do. Now these days you don't need 4 hard drives. You could just have everything in one, and you'll be fine. On top of that, they give you the book, the manual, and a CD for actually they give you 2 CDs. Let me see one's for the Wi-Fi and one's for the drivers. So Wi-Fi drivers and gaming Gigabyte. Okay, this is for the actual video card, and this is for the actual video card and additional drivers, and this was for the Wi-Fi. So they give you 2 different discs, which is pretty much shitty because I'm not gonna put a CD player on it, but I am gonna transfer from another computer to my server the actual drivers. And this is kind of a horrible thing. They should now do USBs. They should get rid of this shit and just give you USBs compare. Now they do give you a motherboard and step-by-step. They're always really good motherboards, and they always give you good step-by-step how to install, even from BIOS, even going through BIOS, really good. But like I said, one thing I would get rid of is it will be pretty much this part, And they do give you, oh my god, they gave you a freaking gaming Gigabyte sticker. Oh, I want one. Nah, just kidding. These are little shitty ass stickers that you want to put in front of your desktop. Be proud, owner. Nah. So anyways, let me put everything back and talk a little bit more about it. And it's not a bad thing to have, this thing. Let me zoom in some more so you guys can see a little bit more, and we could talk a little bit more details on it. On top of this stuff, let me twist it here so you guys can see the side of it. There we go. On the side of it, so we got all the audio inputs that you need, the output, input, different additional audio. But one thing I didn't notice right now, there's no optical. I just noticed there is no optical. If you guys see it, there's no optical connection. It might not be, I don't know why it's not zooming in. Let me make sure. That's one thing I didn't like. But you know what? I don't care. I really don't even need it. I never connected any optical onto my computer, to be honest with you. It'll be the first if I ever do. Now the NIC cards right here, they give you 1, 2, 3, 4 USB 3.0, and then the additional 2.0 ones right here on the red ones, of course. On right over that one, the wireless NIC card is established there, you know, but it has a little protective base in here, and the card is right in the back of it. And like I said, if you don't like the card, you can always take it out and put a M.2 slot in there and act it out as memory. But not all the motherboards are the same, so it might not be have that feature. So check your manual and and consult with your book and your whatever and somebody else. I would say. Anyways, here's the connections for the Wi-Fi connection, and these where the antennas will be connected right here. These two antennas will be connected, and on top of that, they give you this old 2M. What is it? 2M something slot. I forgot. It's an old connection for keyboard and mouse. They don't make this stuff no more. This is super old. I don't even know why they keep adding this to it. You know, this old technology. And then on top of it, they give you the 2 USB 2.0s. And on here, HDMI, one HDMI, and a display port right here for either one. You got 2 monitors on this one. Remember, this is a 2 gig video card built in here, which is not bad. That's the only reason I purchased it for, just so it could run the built-in video card in here. On top of that, there's other slots for the actual pins that you're gonna have to plug in and set them up. Here's the USB. They only give you 1 USB slot here for in case your tower or whatever it is that you're gonna plug in. You plug it in here. 1 fan plug in here. Here's an additional one here. I'm trying to find different alternative ones, but there's not that many. They give you 1, 2, 3. And that's about it. That's all I see. Three connections for 3 fans. So it's not gonna need too much heat if you're gonna be running it. Like I said, if you're gonna be running it to the minimum, it's fine. But if you're gonna be adding something like big sucker like this, a video card like that, this is not the right motherboard for you. This is pretty much if you want to build the home system for if you want to put it in back of your TV or something, and you want to do gaming, retro gaming, and old school gaming. This is probably it. But we will have to test it out with PUBG and other Fortnites and see how well it runs with the built-in video card itself. And we can do that on the next videos that we can have, or the live streaming. But today I just wanted to bring in the motherboard and let you guys know exactly what you guys get in here. Like I said, the socket here is AM4. It's a B350, right? Remember, it's the 7th generation AMD that you have to install, not the 8th. All right. Now on top of it, it says it's built-in VR ready. So that means it must be compatible with the video card, ready to go. If it's VR ready, it could play probably PUBG and Fortnite on it. So we're gonna have to see in that. But now that Black Ops came out, we're gonna have to test it out with Black Ops, see how well it runs with the just addition, no extra video cards, just the built-in video card. We're gonna try to push it to a limits, of course, and I'm gonna put 8 gigs of memory only. I'm not gonna go higher than that. Like I said, this is gonna be a system that's gonna be pretty much an arcade system. So I am building an arcade cabin for it. I might not have it perfectly, but it's gonna be a basic, real basic, that is gonna have this probably built in. I was even thinking of building this in the actual the joystick system. You know, I was gonna mount it through the back or somewhere in there and make some vents so the holes come out and air could come in. So I'm gonna measure the box, see how wide it is in there, if I could even build it in the box itself, so it could be taken anywhere and plug in any TV. You don't have to have it on, you could take it on the road. At first I was gonna put a Raspberry Pi, and if you guys see the Raspberry Pis, they're good, they're okay, but they're small, but they're not capable of handling the same power as this motherboard. This motherboard could handle Dreamcast games, and the biggest test is Nintendo 64 and PlayStation. This one's capable of handling that stuff. This one isn't. So compared to a Raspberry, that I was gonna go with the Raspberry, I decided to go with the motherboard that had a better video card. Now, when you buy a Raspberry, the video cards in here are not the best, you know, but even if you overclock it, It's not the number one thing. I am probably going to take out this fan and use it for this one so it could cool more system. But the one thing I do want to make sure that it does cool down is the CPU. So that's what you got to be worried about there too. So other than that, you know, I can't add anything else. It's a great motherboard. I like the system. You know, we're going to start using it. It's really tiny compared to this motherboard. This is a regular motherboard, right? A Gigabyte. Look at how big it is. I'm gonna actually zoom out so you guys can see more, so you can see the comparison. This is a regular one, and this is a small one. I'm gonna put this one over this one, all right? So you guys can see how big and where the CPU will be, right? And it'll be through much taking out all this space. You see that? It's compared to it. It's huge. It is huge. Liked it. I like the size of it. It means less generating less heat, so it's something that I'm looking forward to setting it up. I'm gonna test it out with the games, the current games that we have out there, see how well they work. I'm gonna do a little benchmark and stuff like that, but that we'll do on the next video. Today was just an unboxing and talking about my next project to do, which is great, you know, compared to this Gigabyte. This is a great motherboard too, just to let you guys know. But this one's, you know, it's decent. And of course, you know, Gigabyte, I guess they have some tradition. Look at the sync comparison. This one doesn't have the wireless, but they do have the old school connection for your actual mouse right here, if you guys see it. Other than that, it's not that bad. Let me put this one back. So this is it, the Gigabyte AB350N Gaming Wi-Fi. This is oh yeah, RGB ready fusion. They do have a RGB light, but like I said, if you're gonna use that sucker, you're gonna have to have the power, because you can't just run it off, you know, any system and just say, hey, the minimum power of 150 watts is gonna run. No, you need higher than that. Now it does have the 3.1 generation of USBs. Like I said, it's ready compatible. It's not 3.0, it's 3.1. All right. Sockets, I already talked about them already. It's a 2600 AMD I'm setting up in here, which is coming this week, I believe. And other than that, it gives you good advice about how well it works and performs, but it mostly concentrates a lot about the USBs. It's super proud. The box says it's super proud of all the USBs that it has, which is a 3.0 compared to a 2.0, which is, I don't really care about them right now, to be honest with you. It's just one of those things that I just want to get up and running. And I noticed something too, that on the picture you can't see it here, but they light up the memory. Right by the memory, there's the little lights, RGB lights right here that they put in here. And that, I'm pretty sure it's going to take some power to it. So you can't see them on the camera, but they're really tiny, really small. Other than that, let me know if you have any questions on this Gigabyte gaming rig that I'm going to build. And I'm going to let you guys know exactly what I'm going to do on it and step by step. And if you guys like what I'm going to do on it, let me know. And if you have any ideas of what other systems, or you're going to purchase something similar to this, hey, hit me up. That's what I'm here for. And like I say, I compared it with a video card. It's a huge monster. This one does fit in here, but it's bigger than the video card is bigger than the motherboard. Other than that, it's been a pleasure. I hope this is interesting for you guys. I hope you find it like educational. Or if you're gonna buy something similar and you want to see it here firsthand, here it is. And I hope you guys enjoy it. And if you have any questions, hit me up. I've been answering a lot of questions out there. Love that you guys ask questions, and I love to answer them. And if I can't find them, I'll let you know straight out. Hey, I got no answer. Or most of the times I end up emailing the actual manufacturer, and they come back to me and they tell me, hey, here's what you could tell them. Other than that, I'm your host, Prophet74, and we are out.